All right, in this video I have the Maniere Air Jordan 5 SP. This is a women's colorway, the Photon Dust and black, but this is the white colorway. They actually have a black colorway as well. Check out the lid, first of all, really nice details on there. And then you have the A print for Maniere all over the box, which is the theme that really came across well in this pair, as I'll show you in some of the details in a second. You also have the A's on the paper on the inside. A nice premium feeling box here. Then here are the sneakers. So this is one of the two colorways. I do have the other colorway. Once I get those, I'll probably compare them both side by side for those people that might want to see that video. But this is the latest and greatest from Maniere and Jordan brand in a controversial release because obviously there's a lot of different things going on with the founder of Social Status and Maniere. There's some pretty heavy allegations about money laundering, like $30+ million overseas. And so it's interesting that they actually went ahead with the release regardless of all those allegations. Obviously there's money to be made, but it'll be really interesting to see how this affects and impacts any of the future releases. And maybe is this going to be the last one that we see from Jordan Brand and Maniere. Regardless of all the drama and everything, I'm trying to swerve all of that and give you guys 3 reasons why I think that this is a nice pair of sneakers. Again, regardless with anything that we've heard about any lawsuits and anything. But this is a look at the shoe. This makes it so I have pretty much every one that Maniere ended up releasing. They have the ships that they sent me, which was crazy that they actually sent me a pair of them. Really nice quality on those. We have the Air Jordan 1s, another nice one. The Air Jordan 2s, one of the sleepers in my opinion, one of my favorites. You have the Air Jordan 3s and the 4s, and both colorways of the 12s that I have. This colorway is very interesting in hand. Honestly, I thought the upper was like an off-white sort of look, but in hand it's definitely more of a grayish look, which was different. I didn't really realize that. Maybe you guys knew that ahead of time, but for me looking at images, I don't know, maybe my color schemes are off, but it looked like it was kind of creamish. That being said, you do have some vintage sort of look to the shoe because of the age defect or the yellowed outsole, as well as the netting, and then also that lace lock right here.
The proper way to use lace locks on the Air Jordan 5.
The colorway looks nice though, and there's some really nice details that I want to get into on this shoe and give you guys again 3 reasons why I think that this is a go. So let's go and get into those. Now the first reason is because of the adjustment from the padded collar on the Air Jordan 5s. Some people don't really like the bulkiness of the padded collar on the 5s. Here's an example of an Air Jordan 5 with the puffy collar right up here. Some people don't like it. I grew up with the Air Jordan 5, so I just know and like the Air Jordan 5 the way the collar sits for me personally, but some people like a little bit more of a slimmed approach, which is what the Maniere Air Jordan 5s offer. And now for those that are new on my channel, this is the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo version, and this is a sample version with the yellow toe. Super, super rare. Probably the most expensive pair that I have in my collection, and I wore these quite a bit. There's pretty heavy creasing right here, and yeah, anyway, I just absolutely love this pair right here. Also, one thing to note is that this is not the first pair to slim down that collar line. These are the off-white Air Jordan 5s from Virgil Abloh, and you can see he also did a similarly different treatment with the collar. Obviously, he doesn't have the puffy material. He actually went the opposite direction and made little cutouts here, and you can actually cut those circles out if you really want to. I've seen people do that, but I like his idea of the creativity where people can cut and just make it their own. Any which way, this was a very interesting pair because it was the first time I think we've seen that. It also had raw edges around the tongue and also on the collar, which leads me to the other similarity, and you do have a raw edge around the collar up here as well. So it's not as buttoned up as the regular pairs. It's a little bit more raw edged, and I like it. I think it looks nice. Again, taking sort of notes from the Off-White collaborations, but it's something that I think is welcome. Also, this is done in more of a traditional look versus the Off-White ones were obviously just really far out there. If you didn't know, the original pairs had the padding up here and then also the non-raw edge around the collar, you'd think that this is probably the way it's done for those people that are maybe just newer to the Air Jordan 5. Another reason why I think that this should be a cop for those people interested is just the fact that they have lots and lots of really nice detailing on the model. There's 2 subtle details on here that I think they did an expert job on. One is the mesh on the sides of the shoe. It's not just the regular plastic mesh on the sides of the shoe. It's actually an all-over print of the Maniere logo. And I love that they made that customized for this pair. It's on both sides of the vents and then also for the tongue. Super clean, and one of those details that you look at and go, okay, they did a really nice job on that. Then you dig a little bit deeper and you look at the collar of the shoe and the back side of the tongue, and you could see, if you look close, there is actually the Maniere logo all over print inside of there as well. But I love that they did that, and it's a very unique, different look to the shoe, and a very small detail that you wouldn't notice from far away, but up close you're like, man, they actually went crazy and did the all over print of the Maniere in here as well. Another crazy detail is on the inside liner of the shoe. You actually have an embroidered Nike Air on the bottom of the shoe. Like, what is this? I've never seen an embroidered Nike Air logo on the bottom of the shoe. But again, something I absolutely love, because we all know as sneaker people, you put on your Air Jordans, that Nike Air that is on the bottom of your shoe rubs off in like one wear. So the fact that they actually embroidered it in means that this thing is actually going to stay in. And I think that that's one of the coolest things that I've seen, is something that is actually functionally different on a pair of the Nike Air Jordans. I mean, really, really cool concept and idea there. Also, they took the embroidery and did something even crazier. They actually put an embroidered Nike Air on the heel of the shoe as well. So really, really thick embroidery back here. Love that. And then they also have the 23 details on the side of the shoe also. Fire Red 5s and Metallics, I believe, had the 23 on the side back in the day. Just a nice little additional detail. And they also have the 23 on the off-white versions as well. But this is a crazy one. I always throw this out in every video I get an opportunity to do. On the back of the Tokyo Air Jordan 5s, it looks like there is some interesting text here. It's actually an inverted 23, so it does say 23, but it's inverted. It does look like it's some sort of different language, but it's actually an inverted 23. So drop a like on the video if you guys never knew that. Now, getting back to the details, you do have a reflective tongue, which we know and love from the Air Jordan 5s already, but then it takes it one step further, and it has embroidered with the A on one, and then you have the Jumpman on the other pair. So I like that they kept it consistent in having the co-branding on both of the shoes, but adding the embroidery is a nice touch, as well as the fact that you have to have it de-embossed around the A for one shoe, and then the de-embossed Jumpman around the other. So as you transition to the bottom of the shoe, you can see the co-branding exists here as well. The Maniere on the bottom of one and the Jumpman on the other. And I like that they actually transposed it. So the one with the Jumpman on the tongue is actually the one with the Maniere on the bottom. The one with the Maniere on the tongue is actually the one with the Jumpman on the bottom. So nice little touch there. Also the Nike branding on the bottom as well. So it's kind of interesting that they went with the Nike branding on here instead of just the Jumpman. Obviously they could have done the Jumpman on the back, the Jumpman on the bottom. That is what a lot of the retros have. Like the Tokyos have a Jumpman on the back and then the Jordan brand on the bottom. But the original pairs of the Air Jordans up through, I think, the Air Jordan 7 or 8 had Nike branding on it. And then after that, Jordan brand actually became its own entity and its own business, even though it still lives under the umbrella of Nike, but it's its own business. So after that, they kind of dropped the Nike Air branding and just wanted to make it a Jordan brand sort of thing. But nowadays, especially in the original colorways under the Air Jordan, I think 7 or 8, with the Nike Air branding that was original on the shoe, people want the original on the retros that end up dropping. However, I don't necessarily have a preference when it's a retro pair and not an original colorway like both of these collaborations. I like that they're giving a nod to the original branding of the shoe with the Nike Air, but it didn't have to necessarily be Nike Air. It could have just been Jordan brand. I think people would have been happy. Leave a comment in the comment section. Do you guys prefer the Nike branding on a pair of Jordan retros that was not an OG colorway, or do you like the Jumpman as well? Leave a comment, let me know. But the last reason why I think that these are a cop is because of the colorway itself. Now, the black colorway I think is the better looking colorway, at least in pictures. I can't wait to get those ones in hand and on feet and let you guys decide when I get them, but I think the black one looked better. This one is a really nice colorway as well. Like I said, the upper is pretty much gray, but they do have little nice accents of blue. I thought, honestly, the first images, the dusk to dawn sort of thing, I thought it was another play on like these ones were of the originals of the Fire Red 5s and then also the metallic silver Air Jordan 5s. Like, I liked that this was a thing, so I was very kind of confused of why they were doing the same sort of vibes on both of the shoes that they released, but I have to say, like, in hand, they're totally different, obviously. And this is obviously not Fire Red or like an alternate colorway of the Fire Red with the hits of blue, because at first I was like, well, they just replaced the red parts with blue, but that's not exactly what they did. They kind of mixed it up all over the place, and it's its own colorway, in my opinion, and they did a really nice job on it. I like the black midsole. The aged look looks nice, I think, as well on here. And then the upper of the shoe just being that weird grayish color was the only thing that I was like, I'm not really sure if I'm feeling it. But I think that overall they do look really good. And leave a comment in the comment section. You guys think they look better on feet than your initial impressions of the shoe? Because I feel like on feet it always helps a model just make or break some really of whether or not it's going to be something that people are going to go for or not. It is kind of a heavy price point at that $225, but it is a collaboration and they did do very unique detailing on this one that we haven't seen on any other Air Jordan 5. So I think it kind of warrants the additional price, as much as I hate to say it, because it is, again, 200 would have been like still like $200, but I mean the mesh, the liner, the extra branding on the tongue and stuff, they did more than just slap their name on the insole of the shoe. So I like that they went all in with the collaboration. Leave a comment in the comment section. What do you guys think about the Maniere Air Jordan 5 Dawn colorway? I can't wait to get the other colorway, but I'm honestly very impressed with what they ended up releasing here. And how did the Maniere collaborations rank in your guys' opinion? I might do like a full ranking video when I get the 5s in, and then I can just do that. But leave a comment in the comment section, which is your favorite collab so far. I mean, for me, the 3s were probably the best one just because it's so nice. And actually, I really love the 2s as well, but all of them have been pretty spectacular in my opinion. They've done a great job. Again, curious to see what the future holds for the collaborations. but it is what it is. And this one I think is a go. Also, they do have some alternate laces I forgot to mention. You have the white and the cream colored laces on the side, and then the kind of like the photon gray or whatever this is on the shoe. I don't mind the ones on here, but I wouldn't mind messing around with them and seeing what other combinations look good. Maybe the off-white cream ones would look good. But thanks for stopping by and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. If you guys like the content, drop a like, and appreciate y'all for being here. Hopefully we'll see you back for some more content. All right, peace, guys.